The last thing we need to be able to do with systems of equations is do word problems with these systems of equations to find the solution. So for example, I'm going to do numbers 1, 5, and 7 with you, and I want you to cross out number 4 because number 4 is actually a quadratic equation, not a linear equation. So we are going to do 1, 5, and 7 together, leaving 2, 3, 6, and 8 for you to do on your own. So number 1 says find the value of two numbers if their sum is 12 and their difference is 4. So they add up to 12, and when you subtract them, you get 4. So we could say x plus y, x being the first number, y being the second number, have to add up to 12. X minus y has to equal 4. First thing we need to check for is a zero pair. X plus x would give me 2x, so that's not a zero pair. But y plus negative y is a zero pair, so I don't have to do any multiplication. I can just add straight down. So x plus x is 2x. Y and negative y cancel out. 12 plus 4 is 16. Divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 8. Then I can go back to one of my original equations. I have x plus y equals 12, and I'm going to substitute x with 8. So I get 8 plus y equals 12. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides to get y equals 4. I would write this solution as a coordinate pair, 8, 4. Alright, I said I would do 5 and 7 with you also. Number 5 says the State Fair is a popular field trip destination. This year the senior class at Banneker and the senior class at Westlake both planned trips there. The senior class at Banneker rented and filled 8 vans and 8 buses with 240 students. Westlake rented and filled 4 vans and 1 bus with 54 students. Every van and bus had the same number of students. Find the number of students in each van and each bus. So Banneker rented and filled 8 vans and 8 buses with 240 students. Westlake rented and filled 4 vans and 1 bus with 54 students. So for Banneker, the equation would be 8v plus 8b equals 240. So 8 full vans plus 8 full buses gave us 240 students. For Westlake, I have 4 vans and 1 bus that gave me 54 students. So again, I'm looking for a zero pair. 8 and 4 don't cancel each other out. 8 and 1 don't cancel each other out. But if I multiply this by negative 2, I get negative 8v minus 2b equals negative 108. And if I rewrite my first equation the same way, my v's cancel out. Negative 2b plus 8b is 6b equals, let's see, negative 108 plus 240. Negative 108 plus 240 is 132. Divide both sides by 6. Bus had 22. I'm going to plug that back into my original equation. So I have 8v plus 8 times 22 equals 240. 8v plus 8 times 22 is 176 equals 240. Subtract 176 from both sides. That cancels out on the left. I'm left with 8v on the right. 240 minus 176 is 64. Divide both sides by 8. B equals 8. So for this one, we get B equals 22, V equals 8. And I need to know what that means. So I'm actually going to turn my paper and write my answer right here. Buses hold 22 students. Vans hold 8 students. Since that is what the question was asking you, they would expect for this answer to be written out, not as a coordinate pair. For word problems, so in-depth word problems such as these, you need to write out what your answers actually mean. Alright, number 7 says Matt and Molly are selling oranges for school fundraisers. Customers can buy small boxes of oranges and large boxes of oranges. Matt sold 3 small boxes of oranges and 14 large boxes of oranges for a total of $203. Molly sold 11 small boxes, 11 large boxes for a total of $220. Find the cost of small boxes and large boxes of oranges. Alright, so let's do Matt first. So Matt sold 3 small plus 14 large for a total of $203. Molly sold 11 small and 11 large for a total of $220. We need to come up with a zero pair. 3 and 11 don't cancel each other out. 14 and 11 don't cancel each other out. So I need to figure out what I'm going to multiply these by. I can't think of a number that multiplied by 3 would get me to 11, or a number multiplied by 11 to get me to 14, which means I'm going to have to multiply both of my equations. I'm going to multiply this top equation by negative 11 and this bottom equation by 3. So as you can see, I just switched the first coefficient. So I multiplied the top equation by 11, the bottom equation by 3, and I made one of them negative because in order for them to cancel out, one has to be negative and one has to be positive. So when I do this, negative 11 times 3s is negative 33s minus negative 11 times 14 is 154L equals 203 times 11, negative 2,233. Then I'm going to multiply this bottom one by 3, so 33s plus 33L equals 660. Your s's cancel out. Negative 154 plus 33 is negative 121L. Negative 2,233 plus 660 equals negative 1,573. And to get L by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 121. And when I do that, I get L equals 13. So I divided both sides by negative 121 to cancel that out. When I do that, L equals 13. So now I'm going to plug it back into my original equation. So I have 3s plus 14 times 13 equals 203. I get 3s plus 182 equals 203. I multiply 14 times 13 to get 182. Subtract 182 from both sides. I get 3s equals 21. Divide both sides by 3, and s equals 7. So what this means, again, I'm going to turn my paper, is large boxes cost $13. Small boxes cost $7. So when you're coming up with word problems, you can use whatever variables you want in order for the equation to make sense for you. So if I used x and y, this might have been a little bit more confusing because then I wouldn't know what x represents and I wouldn't know what y represents. But by using S and L, I know that S meant small and L meant large. So when I got my final answer, I knew that large boxes were 13, small boxes were 7, and I knew that just by looking at the variable. As always, I will tell you an answer to the bonus question, and the bonus question answer for the next quiz will be A. A as in apple, A as in the grade you want to get on your quiz. So I will see you next class. Be prepared for a quiz that has word problems, graphing, and elimination method problems on it. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.